Hello, my name's Phil Stocker and I'm the Chief Executive of the National Sheep Association here in the UK, and I've just taken a few moments out of a really heavy downpour to shelter under a tree and talk a little bit about COP26 and climate change. And I, like many people working in British farming, are fully aware of the risks and the challenges posed by climate change, and fully aware too of the urgent need for all of us, all of society, to take action to try and mitigate those risks. In the sector of agriculture that I'm most involved in, sheep farming, we've been at the coalface really in terms of the impact of some of the effects of climate change, the Beast of the East a few years ago, and then just prior to that we had those heavy spring snowfalls that caused some real devastation. We're constantly seeing more extreme weather conditions in terms of periods of extra prolonged drought or rainfall that are just making farming much more difficult. And on a more practical basis as well, we're seeing the change of many of our parasites and diseases that are much more difficult to predict. So we're there seeing the impact of climate change on a daily basis, really. So we definitely want to play our part in mitigating this. But as I look around me and see the countryside, I'm here in Gloucestershire at the moment. And as you travel into Glasgow for the COP conference, whether that's by rail or car or by air, you will have seen some of the most glorious countryside you could imagine. Those small patchwork of fields, interspersed or surrounded by hedges and interspersed with trees, with those open expanses of moorland and grassland. And all of these areas have created a great foundation so far for not just producing food, but also for creating a great countryside, opportunities for wildlife, and unbeknown to us really, the ability to store carbon in many different ways for a long period of time before climate change was really being talked about. But there's a lot more we can do. Throughout my whole farming career, I guess I've been part of a generation that has been trained to try and keep our farms really tidy and manicured and looking good. And there's nothing wrong with farms looking good. I mean, we all want our farms to look good. But probably we've made our farms too tidy and too manicured, and by doing that, we've taken away some of the opportunities for nature. And we've probably also reduced the opportunities to store carbon on our farms. So I, amongst many people working in British agriculture, and certainly the National Sheep Association, is very keen to be part of the solution to some of the global challenges that we're facing in the future. Whilst COP26 is going to have a main focus around climate change and nature recovery as well, we shouldn't forget that true sustainability has got a much wider range of metrics than just those two subjects. We have to deal with making sure our communities are happy and vibrant. We have to keep our local economies really thriving. We have animal welfare to deal with, the protection of our natural capital, air, water, and our soils, of course. And all of those things, by addressing all of those metrics of sustainability, I guess we will also improve our carbon footprint and probably improve opportunities for nature as well. Within the sheep sector, there's more we can do to make our sheep flocks more efficient and reduce their carbon footprint. And there's certainly more we can do around our farm landscapes to improve both nature opportunities and also store more carbon and address climate change. So I'm really enthusiastic about the next decade or so in terms of our farms really playing their part in trying to create solutions for the future. And I look forward to many of the discussions that will be taken at the COP26 conference, and look forward to a bright future. And thank you for joining me.